Students, my name is Mr. Petruska. I am the mathematics teacher for Team Indy, and I am the homeroom teacher for 207 that I would also be teaching social studies to. Today I just want to go through some slides and then more importantly Schoology to make sure everyone's on the same page in regards to where to get their assignments and how to complete certain things. So this very first slide, if you see the large Schoology symbol, I will eventually click that to go over to Schoology. If I go in and click this envelope mail, it'll show the contact information for myself, which is also located over on Schoology. The picture with the A+ grade, it just talks about briefly the items that will be graded throughout the school year, whether you're at home, virtually, or in class. And then also, just click on my name for my Meet the Teacher slide. A lot of the students were present for that. I also just wanted to get to know other kids in regards, your children, the students, get to know them a little bit better. So I always present the different things that my family does at home and some interesting facts, and a lot of them have shared that so far with me, which has been great. So again, if I'm in this slide that you can always come back to, this pulls you just over to the email. Now, this is just very briefly what grades are happening in math class: quizzes, tests, assessments, classwork, projects, class participation, whether in class or out of class, and then any homework assignments that are assigned. Now, I do have a math syllabus that will be presented over on Schoology here in a little bit that I will show you, and that the students were given online, and we discussed for a few days just certain things that happen within the Room 207 and Team Independence and just at North Strabane Intermediate School and what our expectations are. And then I'm just going to hop back over here to the beginning. If you click my name, there's a Meet the Teacher slide. Again, that's also located on Schoology. So with that being said, I'm going to click on our Schoology big picture, and it's going to take me over to the math portion of Schoology. Now, with the math portion of Schoology, right when you enter our page, the students page is a little bit different, where grades are up top or the grade book is over on the left. Students can always jump into that to see if there are any assignments possibly missing, not graded, and so forth. Each week I have that specific week, and if I click this, I will have a small overview of what we will be doing throughout the week. This item can be made larger, or you can keep it small. And I just go through some of the basic things that we will be doing in class, out of class. There will also always be some extra activities if students want to play maybe a game in regards to the topic we're discussing, or in this sense, below every day or above every day, I put that there's going to be a quiz on Friday. Sometimes there's some videos, games that I've already said, quizzes, or Kahoot. I know that those words are a tongue twister, but I promise the students, your children, do know what those things are. Wednesdays are the days where a lot of students are making up work or maybe moving forward on a different topic that we may not be always discussing in math class, but they want to learn about it. Right now, the students are still trying to complete their diagnostic testing just so that I'm able to see where they're strong at or where they may need some extra help at. And then I always try to give them different resources online for them to search different topics. One of the YouTube gentlemen that I follow is called Mashup Math. I always let them know. I even show videos. There's a lot of different resources out there that if they're not understanding maybe how I presented it in class, or maybe how you're helping them out at home, or even in the book, there are other ways to do it. In our math class, it's always about the process. I know there are many different ways to solve problems, but we want to just get the children, the students, understanding of it. If I continue on Thursday, Friday, continuing down into this folder, You'll see the different days of the week. If we don't have school that certain day of the week, it'll either just say off or they won't see that type of folder. If I go into Monday, which is today the students were watching a video that I created over the weekend discussing ratio tables. I wanted them to work through it in the book or their notebook, depending on if they had their book or not. Now, the students will have access to their book online. With a username and password that will be provided to them in case they do forget their book. Then this next step is, in this case, homework. I rarely will give homework, but there was some extra time for students that were able to get the video and some problems completed to go over onto vocabulary and start looking into the coordinate plane and graphing, because tomorrow that's what we're going to get into. Down below here, we have some username and passwords for the Glencoe math book. That book will only be used for actually just looking at the problems if the students forget a book. There won't be assignments posted on there, so I wasn't worried about their usernames and passwords. Now, if I go back into the main page, I always try to tell the students to look at the updates. Now, the students will have that on their very beginning page when they log into Schoology. And I like to just post different things here, whether I might be in school, out of school. Maybe there's a good bit of students that forgot to do an assignment, or maybe all of the students did wonderful on an assignment, and I want to congratulate them. Not with these different times, it's sometimes hard with students at home. Maybe they missed the Google Meet and they're going to have to look at the recording, but I want to make sure everyone knows how hard we all are working in this. On the right side over here of the students page, that is the agenda. At times it might say overdue. After speaking with a lot of the students, the only way that Schoology shows that an overdue assignment is present or is letting you know, there are two ways. You can go up to notifications up here and turn on course materials overdue, and that would send an email. You can also go into the settings of your account, and I've discussed this with both A, B groups and students at home. If you go into notifications, you can add a cell phone over here, cell phone number. You can even go down below. It says course materials overdue, on and off, depending on the location, whether it's email or mobile. I let them know that I get their messages through my mobile phone. I have the Schoology app on there. So they would have to go in. I'm not able to do that, unfortunately. Go in here and click course materials overdue on so that they get an email notification. I did say there was a second spot that they would maybe see it if they do not get it emailed. If they click their Canon Mac home button at the top left and they go to recent activity or course dashboard, theirs is a little bit different than mine. Okay. So it would say overdue up here instead of reminders. Okay, so it'd say overdue. Some students utilize the agenda up top here. It just kind of all depends on that specific child and how they're able to stay organized. Now, once I go back into math, if I go down into our previous weeks, there's Meet Mr. Petruska. Now, myself, I've been teaching for almost 10 years now. My wife and I met when we were in high school. I went to Pittsburgh Central Catholic. She went to Hampton, so we are local. Once out of college from Clarion, we moved down to Florida and taught down there for about 5 years. We were able to go to Disney and the beaches a lot, but we had our twin boys, and then we had our little girl, and once we had our little girl, we wanted to come back up for family, up north. Yes, I know we have the snow, but we wanted to be with family. We always are doing something outside or something fun, it seems like, at home. We have a little dog named Rue, a little cat named Peaches. There's definitely a lot going on at our household, just like yours at times, with school and everything. Now, if we continue down below there, there's a math syllabus and expectations. It just talks about what's going to be going on these first 9 weeks throughout the year. I've told all of your children that there are going to be times where maybe we're talking about measurement in the first 9 weeks, and students will say, oh, I thought we're not getting to that till the end. We're going to be talking about many, many different topics throughout the year that we're just going to pull together. I always want to try to relate math in the real world, whether it's speed or distance, cooking. Numbers are everywhere and problem solving's everywhere. So I try to let the kids know that mistakes are going to happen. It's part of the learning process. It's how you continue forward and how you try and make it better or correct at times. So if you go through the class procedures, again, your students, we did go through this quite a bit those first couple weeks just so they were understanding of what was expected in class. Some students will want to retake a quiz or test. If it's below a C, they have to make sure that they practice the topic. So they're going to come and let me know that they're wanting to retake or retest, complete the remediation work, so the work to see that they're ready to do it, and then schedule that quiz or test within a week's time frame. I know that there are different situations that come up, so please just reach out and contact me at any time to ask questions. I might end up just giving you a call because it's easier for me just to speak on the phone than through emails or Schoology messages. As yes, it's pretty tough right now. All of us are on a computer, so I try to stay away from the computer as much as I can outside of the classroom. I try to let your children know and my kids, hey, get outside, do something off of the screens. This is a different time. Please have patience with us, and we're going to get through this. We're going to work together on it. Now, with the math side of this, that's about everything on here. There are like Chapter 1 ratios, rates, resources. There are different games that I provide your child if they want to go into something different. There's a Google tutorial that I've pushed out. I found this online. I think it's amazing. So when the students are having trouble creating something, they click one of these, it pops up, then it shows them how to do that certain topic. The last page had a math enrichment page. This was another item I found online, that this is one big game board that kids can play. So they can make it large, they can click any of these different areas, these pictures, and it actually takes them to different areas for them to try and solve problems or work together. Maybe there are songs in there. The Google Meets link that is on our math page and recordings, if we have a live lesson that day, I end up putting that daily recorded live lesson or any lessons that we have a good discussion about in here. You might see a couple of the same ones, but that's just because I have to switch it up with some of the classes and how they're receiving it. And then we have the links that were in that folder, previous weeks or anything that we've done in the previous weeks, just in case they missed something or they're asking, hey, how do I find this? You can kind of hover over, click this arrow sometimes to pull down the different documents. Schoology and PowerSchool, I was able to put them together, so there should not be anything mixed up with grades. Now, I will say that if I end up clicking something that it's missing in Schoology, it automatically gives the child a 0, and that kind of gives their attention because some parents and guardians may have a notification set up on their phone. They will never be given a 0. It's just kind of letting them know, hey, get this turned in if it's not on the missing assignment board. All classes have this missing assignment sheet. This is just like a basic example. I took students' names out of it, but they have a link to this. That is located in their homeroom folder. If your child cannot find it, make sure they ask their homeroom teacher. So if I just go back to my homeroom, this is different for 208, 209, and 210, weekly assignments calendar. I'm going to click that, And then once that pulls up, there are going to be a couple different links, pages that we're able to get to. One is Team Indy Missing Assignments. And then the other one should be our daily assignments for that week. I may have placed it in a different folder for this week, but it would just show what's on the plate for the kids this week, what they may be doing. It's not going to be exact everything there, but it's kind of just giving them an overview, which some of the students enjoy to have, just to see, hey, what we're learning later on this week. What can I go ahead with and try to do maybe on IXL or watch a video. But that is everything. Again, thank you for taking the time to watch this video. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to get a hold of me, and have a wonderful rest of your week.